Hi there, this is Dulce with DulceBellaDragons. I am just doing something a little bit different that I normally don't do, and that is a YouTube video. I decided it would be a really good idea to introduce myself to the public, a lot of people whom have not had the opportunity to meet me or speak to me over the phone or in person at the expos. So one of the things that I do that is very unique is I am a bearded dragon breeder. I began breeding bearded dragons back in 2011. I became aware of bearded dragon morphs around 2009, 2010. They're really popular. I had had a bearded dragon that I received when I was 18. I was working, and one of my coworkers had a Savannah monitor and a bearded dragon that they were rehoming, and I took both of them. I ended up really enjoying the disposition of the bearded dragons. So I ended up keeping bearded dragons for many years, and then decided to breed after. I don't know. It was a long. I don't know. It was a long process, I guess. Talking to other breeders and collecting a few really unique morphs, and didn't really think about breeding at first. That was never my intention. I just went looking for a bearded dragon to add to the family and ended up seeing some really unique things that I had never seen before, and they were super expensive. I mean, some of them were even $1,000. And I thought that that was just so insane, but I could see why someone would do that because they're so beautiful. And I became one of those people that will spend $1,000 on a bearded dragon. Um, so one of the things that I think that sets me apart from most people is I stay small. Most of what I do is educating. I'm more than happy to talk to people about bearded dragon care, the experiences that I've seen over the years. Now that I have had hundreds upon hundreds of bearded dragons, and also have been able to connect with a lot of other breeders and keepers over the years. And a lot of what I've figured is there's a lot of research. We all have to do research on anything that we're getting ourselves into. So the researching process took a couple of years, and then there's the experience process. And so now that I have successfully been able to master both, I feel like for me, I want to reach as many people as possible to share that information that I've been able to experience or that I've researched over the years, or maybe something that maybe I didn't experience, but somebody else experienced. And because that person experienced it and we were able to work through something together, it made me more aware of a lot of different things that can happen when owning a bearded dragon. That a lot of people would never think would happen, but it does. Sometimes it's pretty normal and a pretty easy solution. And sometimes it's more serious. Some of those symptoms that we see are more serious. So, really helping people identify when things are really serious and absolutely need a vet right away. And when there's just sometimes bearded dragons are temperamental, and sometimes there's some things that we can try to help them feel more comfortable, or maybe introducing a new feeder or something to spice things up, or moving things around to make them feel, a little bit more homey or comfortable so that they're more active. So there's just a lot of different things to it. But one of the things that I really enjoy doing is just not just the educating, but also helping people take in rescue dragons and successfully, rehabilitate them. And that's also something that's um, also very dear to me. I know that I do a lot of bearded dragon breeding projects. I do know that a lot of people don't agree with breeding bearded dragons. I do not consider myself a wholesale breeder per se. What I do is very unique. It's very small scale, and it's done with more care, I think, and more planning than what a lot of the wholesalers would be doing. Only because it's just on a smaller level. Quality control is a lot easier when it's smaller. So that is one thing that I do pride myself on. But care to me for my babies is the absolute most important thing. And so, if I'm advocating care and I'm pushing care, and people are aware of how to care for bearded dragons, my babies that are being rehomed are going to have a higher success rate of successfully growing quickly and strong and living many years. I have dragons that I produced 8 years ago that are still around today, and it's very refreshing to see that there's a healthy animal out there being produced. And also outsourcing genetics. I know that there are some hybrid projects that I'm working out some details on that I plan on doing. So just trying to make sure that there's a lot of diversity in those genetics so that they're not getting muddled up. A lot of times when you're breeding genetics that are too closely related, you do end up with a lot of genetic weaknesses, more failure to thrive, and those kinds of things. So those are things that we really try to avoid. So when we do all our plannings, we try to make sure that our genetics are tracing back to enough generations that we know that there's no relation to them at all, and also that the morphs, we're not pairing certain visual morphs together. There are certain visual morphs that you cannot actually produce visual pets from. If you were to do that, then you would actually be breeding in too closely to those lines of genetics. So it's actually recommended that you actually breed two dragons that are actually carriers of the genes and do not actually show the visual trait. And that's actually because they're going to be further apart in that genetic pool, so that genetic marker is going to be stronger in them. And they are going to actually survive and thrive and grow stronger and healthier. And so that's the goal of breeding and the breeding behind it. So there's more science behind it than just, oh, I breed a pretty dragon and it's pretty and I'm going to sell it. That's not really what I do. What I do is more of a research type of inquisitive thing that I started 10, 11 years ago. I was curious, and so that curiosity has just grown over the years. And I worked full time out of the home up until last year. I decided to take my business seriously full time instead of just it being something hobby on the side or just meeting and talking to people. It became more of a, I'm going to go to shows and I'm going to advocate for these animals and I'm going to become involved in nonprofits, and that's what I've been doing. And just trying to spread the word. I work in many different groups in Facebook. I know there's a lot of education groups out there. I try to follow as many as I can and participate as many as I can, especially for new beginners or even for customers or clients that buy my dragons. I want them to know that I'm active in the community and that I care. And if they have problems with their dragons, please come to me. Always, even if there's an accident and something happens to your baby and you're embarrassed, never hesitate. Or if maybe you're just embarrassed because you feel like you should know more, it never hurts to ask, and I'm always open to questions. So, feel free to message me and let me know what you need, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I have sacrificed my last 10 years of building is a network of knowledge and resources to help you guys. So I really want to go ahead and wrap up here because I do have to go get my kids from school. I have 5 boys. So they are 3 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11, and 12. My 10-year-old is severely autistic. He's nonverbal, 10 years old, and still in diapers. But he's a beautiful boy. I love him very much, as any mommy would. Um, he's everything. They're all everything to me. So, me being able to stay home and do what I do with my dragons is a passion for me. My dragons are in showcase displays in my living room. So I watch them all day long. So does my husband. He plays video games and he'll find worms. Yes, we have lots of bugs, different kinds of bugs that we breed. And every time they get out of every once in a while they get out of the container or enclosures, and he'll find one and he'll pick a dragon and he'll say, "This one seemed a little hungry today." So it's really they're just a part of our lives, and every day we all work together on taking care of them, and we love them, and we want other people to get to experience the same thing. Um, I want to make sure that I let you guys know to go ahead and visit me at Facebook at DulceBellaDragons, Instagram, Twitter. I am also online. We do have a website, www.DulceBellaDragons.com. Also, if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. And I will be doing another video of a reveal of a very rare dragon, a Wero, which is a visual whiplet and a visual zero. I do not have one. I do have hats for them. I do not have a visual, so this is big for me. So I'm really, really super excited, especially with having 5 children. You normally can't afford a dragon that is like a minimum of $8,000. So we're excited about, I'm excited about that. I don't know if my husband's excited about that, but he'll find out later. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. There are going to be many, many more videos. I'll do some care videos for you guys. I'm going to do the unwrapping or unboxing of this Wero here in a minute. And then I am going to run and pick my kids up from school so that I am not that mom that is not on time, because that's never cool. All right, guys, we're signing off here. Have a great day from Dulce Bella Dragons. It's Dulce signing off. Bye.